Welcome to Three Girls, One Track, your go-to podcast for listening to two sisters and their cousin try and get into Formula One. We're here to break down the ins and outs of what happens on the track and especially what happens off of it. Listen in weekly to get your fill of F1 gossip, race outcomes, and which Lewis Hamilton Fashion Week outfit we thought was the hottest.
What are we talking about?
I do want to start off because I know, Bex, you went to go see Challengers. Felicia, I don't know if you've gone to go see Challengers yet.
No.
You're missing out.
So sorry.
But I saw I saw a TikTok that, and this will make sense to you, Bex, not really you, Felicia, but it was that scene where Art and Patrick are like holding each other in one of the tennis scenes, and it's like, in a different universe, do you think our friendship isn't ruined? And then you swipe to the second slide of the TikTok, and it's Lewis and Nico holding each other in that cool-down room that one time, and I was on the floor. I was dead.
No. Because hold on, and I'm trying to gather. So, Art and who?
Careful
Patrick.
Your words, though.
Huh?
I said be
Patrick.
careful with your words, but go ahead.
So in that movie, they are a situation. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I wouldn't say
So
yes.
there's that insinuation
Bex,
with.
please be real here. Please be
No,
FFR.
I wouldn't say that there.
Are you saying a situation is too minimal to describe what they are? Because I agree with that statement.
I just say a situation because I haven't seen it, but that's what I've gathered from trailers and things.
Their situation is very nuanced.
Yes.
I don't think that a situationship fully encompasses.
No. Felicia said a situation.
Yes, I didn't say situationship. I said situation.
Because I agree they're not a situationship. No situationship should be that angsty. If your situationship is that angsty, you need to.
I need to actually watch that again.
To be 100%, the embrace that you're discussing is non-platonic, correct?
I mean, we, the audience, know it's non-platonic. It is in their mind spaces.
In a public space, being quote unquote non-platonic, being quote unquote platonic, but we all know it's like non-platonic.
It's like in a tennis match, and not to give very mild spoilers for Challengers here.
Yeah.
It's clear that the characters don't know from Jump Street. The first scene we see of Patrick and Art establishes exactly what this movie's gonna be. The second it starts. I remember watching that opening scene, and the gasp I gasped, Bex, you know what scene I'm talking about when they tackle each other on the tennis court? The gasp I gasped in that movie theater was insane. Jaw was on the floor. I was like, oh, we're establishing this right off the rip? Give this man an Oscar. Give Luca an Oscar, baby.
The thing about that movie is that from the jump, I was like, oh, okay, this is where it's going. And I was like, oh, it's not.
Mm-hmm. It takes you on trips.
Oh, boy.
So Felicia, it is so good.
I think it's Oscar worthy.
Okay. I will.
It needs an Oscar.
Wait, really? Oscar
worthy? It needs an Oscar. It needs an Oscar.
I saw someone say it was like one of the best sports movies.
I think it's the best sports movie we've had in a really long time.
Really?
I think production and cinematography.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't get an Oscar, that's insane.
Yeah.
Really?
Insane.
Like, the movie needs an Oscar, but if production and, like, the film people don't get an Oscar, I'm like, bruh, I'm gonna be like how I was when Harry Styles won the Grammy and Beyonce didn't. Like, I'm gonna be on Twitter cussing people out. And it's just gonna be nasty for everybody.
Please do not open that wound for me. Please don't.
Give these people their Oscars, is all I have to say. That's all I gotta say. But anyway, sorry, I saw that TikTok and it literally decimated me for at least 15 minutes. I was so gagged, so gooped. So gagged. It was unbelievable. I don't think I've ever been so gagged by a TikTok in my life.
You would be gagged.
I'm gonna send it to you. I was gagged.
It'll probably mean more once I see the movie, but
it will mean a lot more.
I'm catching the insinuations, and it gags me a little bit as well.
Yes. Also, the implication being that there is not another universe where their friendship would not be ruined. The other universe, their friendship is still ruined.
I think our next non-race week should be Brocedes.
I can do that. I can do hard things.
I think
Are we gonna go through the PowerPoint?
We can go through the PowerPoint. I might have to revise
because I haven't looked at the PowerPoint yet.
I don't want to use the entirety of the PowerPoint. I don't want to use the entirety of the PowerPoint without the creator's permission. Yes, so I might revise.
Who is the creator of the PowerPoint?
It's this girl on TikTok. I don't want to use her property without her permission. So
understood.
I will be doing my own research, revising. I agree with everything she said in that PowerPoint, so it will be a resource. But
I'm excited.
Yeah, but this is a non-race week. And TBH, I didn't feel like putting together a PowerPoint on the F1 feeder series. So we're just going to talk about news, because a lot has happened.
I feel like so much is happening in F1, like
all the time.
Day.
Yes.
Every week it's like, oh yeah, something going on, low key, then it's like, bam, bam, bam.
Yeah, there's always a lot. Always a lot happening. The first thing I want to talk about, and we have not talked about him much this year because he is no longer an F1 team principal, but Mr. Gunther Steiner is diving into the legal disputes. We not only have 2 lawsuits that he is putting against Haas, Haas has now countersued, baby. So we got multi-directional lawsuits.
Oh, I didn't know Haas had countersued.
They just filed countersuit either yesterday.
Yep, I think it was yesterday.
So what were his 2 lawsuits? I know it wasn't one. Nope, I'm going to let y'all tell me. Yeah. What were his 2?
And we have a lawyer on the line, so we can ask the lawyer opinions.
From my
yes.
Do you want to talk about the claims, or do you want me to talk about the claims?
I'm going to state the claims. How about you dive into what those claims actually mean? Okay. So, claim number 1 is Gunther's claiming that he has unpaid wages. Yes. From his time as F1 team principal for when there were like promotional deals and like all that kind of stuff, right? So that he's basically saying like, hey, I was in charge of these promotional deals. My contract said that I would get XYZ amount of money. I got XYZ minus, however much amount of money. So I ain't got my money. Thing number 2 is that he is claiming that Haas is still using his likeness and image in order to generate profits, and therefore he should be entitled part of those profits. Bex, give me your lawyery opinion on this one.
So, the name and likeness is one that I'm kind of Okay, so first of all, I think it's a strategy. I think it's a strategy because the name and likeness one, I don't follow Haas. I don't really follow any drivers or social media, so I could not attest to whether Haas is actually using his name and likeness. I don't think I've seen anything. I have a lot of F1 that pops up on my page, and that is something that has not popped up on my page recently. So I don't think that's a really strong claim that he has. However, the unpaid wages is an interesting one because I think that one is I'm not sure what his contract stated. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was something along the lines of like he was still doing he was not paid for certain appearances or something like that. Or certain obligations that he fulfilled while he was on the contract. Again, I think for me it's really just depend on what his contract stated and what those obligations were. And so to me, I think the name, image, and likeness, I think that's just sort of, I wouldn't say frivolous, but I feel as though it's something that, unless he just has more information, obviously, more evidence.
Do you think he's just kind of trying to grab at everything he possibly can?
No. So what happens is sometimes you may, basically, what he's trying to do is, if they can settle on the
unpaid wages,
they'll be like, I'll drop the name.
Kind of like he's kind of leveraging
basically
one lawsuit to settle the other.
The most likely way that I could see that they are using his image and likeness is if they're still selling merch that like references like the Steiner boat or Don't Fuck Smash My Door. Like, if they're still selling that merch, I could see, like, him being like, hey, bro, that's me. And you're still selling that, even though it's, like, old merch that obviously they can't just, like, they could just take it down from the website, but they're not going to. Obviously, they need to get rid of inventory.
Do we have, like, the information from the lot? Like, could we find out, like, what exactly it is he's saying?
Yes.
Hold on, let's find out.
I can do that. And I think also, what's interesting about the whole lawsuit is that Haas's countersuit is essentially saying to Gunther, oh, you think we misused your likeness and we're still profiting off of it?
Oh, God.
Well, baby, in your book,
oh, God,
you're using our likeness and profiting off of us, bitch.
I'm not gonna lie. When I first saw his book, because that's what it's based on, his book.
Surviving to Drive.
Yeah, Surviving to Drive.
Stop.
What the fuck?
Wait. Stop. Stop. No, it's not.
It's a horrible name just to be off the top.
That is awful.
Mm-hmm.
Like the other circumstance, it's a horrible name. But as soon as I saw, I was like, oh, that may be an issue. But I think it's interesting that Haas is the one bringing us, when technically I could see Netflix. But I also feel like Haas is trying to countersue, basically to make him. They're basically all. I think that it's all just a game of strategy right now. He has his two suits. He's filed against them. They filed suit against them, and I think it's just going to be a big old game of chicken. Because to be honest, I'm not sure Haas. Because I haven't, and I will say I haven't read either lawsuit in totality. Just like snippets that I've seen online. So I'm getting this is very just off of headlines and
it's merchandise.
Yeah, and for the Haas
merchandise,
for the Haas suit, they're saying in 2023, without permission or consent from Haas Automation, Steiner authored, marketed, promoted, sold, distributed, and profited from a publication titled "Surviving to Drive," which unlawfully used and displayed and continues to use and display the Haas Automation trademarks and the Haas Automation trade dress for Steiner's personal financial gain and illicit profit. So let me look up this book.
Right. I'm just like, what is it? Oh, it's literally on the front cover. He literally has like the Haas headphones on.
Girl.
Like you can literally see it.
Girl, you better pack it. You better pack that up.
And he has a Haas car.
Oh, he has a Haas car, girl. You better
has a Haas car on the front.
He got your ass in 4K.
And it just literally says Haas.
They got your ass in 4K. You have their car on the front, bro.
And their logo on your headphones. My God.
They got you. Like, they got you. Insanity.
Yeah, I think the car is the big thing.
The car has to be the big thing. It's gotta be. But
it literally says Haas. You can see it twice. Haas on the side, Haas on the back.
Like, yeah, it's
literally their car. So it's not even just their name. It's like the design of their car as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Brocedes
going to be. This is
good luck to your Gunther.
A pretty good case against him.
They actually kind of do.
I think Haas is going to get his ass on that one.
Yeah,
I think Haas has him on that one. Obviously, we have no clue about his wages. Like,
let me do a little.
We don't know anything about his wages, so it's kind of hard to like figure that one out.
Something about commission.
Yeah, so he's basically saying two things. He's saying royalties from the merchandise, and then he's saying that he was supposed to get, like you said, commissions, appearance, that kind of stuff.
From his final employment agreement.
And they never gave him that end portion, is what he is saying. Let me see if I can find a direct quote. No, because Motorsport pulled down the article.
Of course.
Of course. Sports Illustrated. You know what? Sometimes I forget that Sports Illustrated is like
actually sports
an
related.
Actual sports magazine. I thought it was like I thought it was basically a front. Like I didn't realize Sports Illustrated did.
You know, we like to read the articles.
I mean, man, did you have to stop dragging people who say they read Sports Illustrated because it has actual content? This is news to me.
Hold on, dude.
I did not know they had actual content.
Violet. Yeah, so apparently he's supposed to get commissions from 2021 to 2023, and they haven't paid it to him yet, and he's saying that violates his final employment agreement.
This is going to be tough. This is going to be a tough one for sure. I'm interested to see if Haas is selling.
Even if he is saying, even if he wins, isn't there countersuit for more than what he's even asking for?
I mean, I guess it's a matter of if they get the entirety of their countersuit.
I don't know if they're asking for relief, but it does say his book has generated revenue of at least 4.5 million.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm not sure if they're asking for a percentage. They're asking.
It's most likely going to be a percentage if they're going likeness and image, correct?
They may also say percentage and to stop.
Oh. Or would he have to change the book cover?
I imagine they would just change the book cover.
He may have to pay Haas not only a percentage, but also like the rights to their branding.
Mm-hmm. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so it's not a good look for everyone, to be honest. I think the unpaid wages could be the really big sticking point for.
Yeah, because that it violates like North Carolina law. And all that
And I think obviously Haas's suit has standing, so it's going to be quite interesting, ladies.
It's going to be something for sure.
We'll keep our eye on that and see how that plays out a little bit, because that seems really interesting.
We love legal disputes.
No legal disputes.
Well, our next piece of business is misinformation. The internet is rife with it. We were misinformed by the internet this week that a deal for a Chicago GP had been signed.
I never saw that.
Okay. Well, maybe start reading our group chats, because me and Bex both said stuff about it.
Did you really? I'm so sorry.
In separate group chats,
I'm so sorry. No. Okay. So the one group chat, there's a lot going on. It's just back to back to back. I don't know why y'all got to send so much stuff at once. And then the other one, I don't know. But anyway, what happened? What happened?
So essentially, I believe it was 2 days ago. Yeah. A tweet goes out basically being like, a deal for the Chicago GP has been signed. It'll be on the calendar from 2026 onward, like blah, 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 right?
Where in Chicago would they even drive?
It was stated as
a street race?
Yeah.
Of course. Okay. Now, this, of course, sent the internet into shambles. You have the Europeans complaining about America getting a fourth race. You have the street track haters complaining about it being a street track. You got everybody complaining except for me, because my first thought was, hold up, my friend lives low-key near Chicago. Oh my god, best.
I got a friend in Chicago.
I was like, Windy City, baby. So come to my great surprise and shock when it turns out that this is fake news and misinformation. This tweet was deleted by the sources that tweeted it out. They put out a statement basically saying like, hey, our source was not reputable.
Wait, did reputable sources put that out?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Yeah. There's like reputable sources that utilize like Twitter primarily to like report out.
Yeah.
And they were like, listen, our source, like we have our, like basically like if we had a ranked list of sources, source number 4 told us that this was happening. And then sources number 1 and 2 went, nah. So we had to be like, hey, we're both. It's basically the tone of what went down. So this is sad. It sparked a lot of the classic debate of America doesn't need more races. Why does America even have 3? Blah, 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 blah. And to that I say, suck my dick. I don't care. The closest race for me is in Canada. I have to go to Canada to go to an affordable, close race. Unless I want to sell multiple organs, I cannot go to any other race in this country. And I live where like everybody lives. I live where like 10% of the country lives. I live in the megalopolis, and all of the megalopolis would have to just go to Canada if I want convenient fucking race. That's insane. That is literally insane. So whenever they're like, that's too many for one country to have, I'm like, bro, Italy has 2. Italy,
Like,
2 of them.
Europe is literally the size of like, oh, I'm being facetious, but it's like the size of like the Midwest. No,
it's a fraction of the size of the U.S.
The West Coast, and like y'all can like just like pay $10 to get on a EasyJet flight to Amsterdam, and
not
I gotta
$10
take,
for an EasyJet.
I gotta take a long road trip. I mean, not gonna lie, I should have complained because I am close to one of the races. A lot closer than most people to a race. So I shouldn't complain. But I also feel like if I wanted to go to any other GP, I would have to come out of my yin yang just to get transportation and a hotel.
Yes.
Oh, that reminds me.
Absurd amounts of money.
That reminds me. I actually saw a list of the 5 most expensive GPs to attend.
Jesus.
All 3 American GPs are on that list.
Yeah. We literally have had group chat texts before where I tried to figure out the realistic pricing for us to go to Coda and we're going to Montreal. And guess what? I stopped texting because I added it up and it was like $2,000 for us to do anything but sit in grass and sweat. Okay? Which we're not doing. Like, please be real. Anyway, Chicago would have been so good. F1 organizers, if you're listening, you can totally bring a street race to DC. Please, we want to see you go around DuPont Circle. We want to see you take DuPont Circle. We want to see you ride on 14th and U. It's what we want. Please.
That would be absurd.
Yeah, hell no.
They wouldn't. They wouldn't. But like, can you imagine an F1 car taking DuPont Circle?
Girl.
So severely.
It would be cool, but
they're not.
No, ma'am.
Like, there's not a corner like it.
Imagine
that.
Mama, not the U.S. Capitol, my love.
They should.
Not the U.S. Capitol.
They should.
No.
They should.
I'm just thinking of something, and I might be wrong. I'm not quite sure. Are all of the American F1 races below the Mason-Dixon line?
Yes.
Nevada? I don't know where
that's below the Mason-Dixon line, girl. What the?
I had to think for a second because I was like, "There's nothing in the north. Obviously nothing in the west.
No,
like
it's all like straight south, southeast.
There's nothing. I guess the closest race, American race for the East Coast is Miami.
Yes.
Yep. Miami.
It's taking a 16-hour drive or a 3-something-hour flight to Miami and then having to sell your kidney or organ as something else to try and get a goddamn seat.
They can go from the British GP to, I forgot what the name of the one in France.
There's so many names they've had for that. Just call it the France GP. We know what you mean.
The French GP. It's a 3-hour train ride between countries.
If I could hop on a 3-hour train ride and
get
anywhere worth going.
Yeah, and
I guess I could get to Philly.
Spoiled, and they get an abundance. Like, Europe gets such an abundance of races, and then they want to be like, "Well, they get one more."
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the North American continent. Such an expansive, such a huge continent has 5 races. Europe can fit into the United States twice, I think. Well, that might be a little bit too much. But can fit in the
Not quite twice, but close.
I can't even think off the top of my head how many races they have. They have so many. It's ridiculous.
Girl.
I'm trying to think of... Oh, they're not on all continents. I was thinking... Africa, still, they don't have an African race anymore.
Didn't they used to have a South... Yeah, they used to have South Africa, right?
Bring it back.
Right?
So...
Yeah. But anyway, rip the Chicago GP. It was good the couple hours that you lasted.
I will say lasted for me, so it was interesting.
I'm in the Twitter trenches, so it lasted like an hour and a half for me. Yeah, but it's okay. Our third piece of news, which I actually found very interesting because it came out of absolute fucking left field for me. There are rumors that the top contender to go to Haas is Zhou Guanyu.
I saw that, and I was actually
And that
Haas.
and that one of the other top contenders is Logan Sargent.
I saw Logan Sargent, but I didn't see Zhou Guanyu.
But I don't know. When I saw that Zhou Guanyu was up for contention for that seat, I was very excited. I was like, yes, because I was worried. I think I was worried that he was going to come. After this season, he was not going to have a seat. I felt there's a lot of changes happening this season, and he was just going to be kind of like getting the short end of the stick. So obviously it's not a confirmed deal, but I think just having his name tossed out there, I actually I appreciate the fact that he's still in the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I also feel like, at least me personally, I really like Zhou Guanyu, and I am plenty happy for whatever needs to happen beyond, obviously, my faves getting got. I'm happy for whatever needs to happen to make Zhou Guanyu have a seat. Like, if it means that Kevin Magnussen disappears from the grid, it needs to happen. Like, it's what needs to happen.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
I mean, do you see Kevin Magnussen going anywhere else if they take Zhou Guanyu? Mm-hmm. Okay.
I don't mean that in a bitchy way. I just mean
I don't. He hasn't done it. Does he even have a point yet? No.
Mm-mm.
Oh wait, did he get one in the last? Did he get one in Miami? A point? I don't think so. So yeah, I don't think he's worth anyone trying to like. I think if he gets on the seat, he's just occupying a seat until they get someone better.
And it's sad because he's not bad at this. You know, like, he's not bad at it. It's not like it's not like any of these men.
Magnussen has 1 point.
Okay, yeah, I think he got it in Miami.
Yeah. It's not like any of these men are like absolutely horrendous or anything.
Not doing all that nonsense during Miami to get his teammate 1 point. He wrapped up.
Not to get his teammate 1 point.
Y'all are down dirty.
I didn't say it. She did.
That's what he did. He told us. Any friends or anything. He told us that's why he did the nonsense that he did. And he took down on it, which I ain't even mad at him about. But I'm also like, 1 point. All right, sir. That's all right.
Honestly, I kind of loved that he was such a menace about it.
Yeah.
I actually thought that was quite hot of Kevin Magnussen to be this much of a menace about it. I thought that was one of his best looks.
Well, he stood on business, I guess.
I am who I am, you know?
Yeah, that is all.
That's all.
That's it and that's all.
That's it and that's all, baby. But yeah, also, I think Logan moving to Haas would be, like, good branding for them, I guess, because they want to keep convincing us they're an American team. So, like, if you want to keep convincing us,
get an American driver.
American driver.
Until, like, I see them in the news that they are an American team. Because I was like, I was looking up, obviously, the Haas situation. I was like, American laws, States. Oh, yeah.
They're based out of where? North Carolina?
I don't know where they're based out of, but Gunther is based out of North Carolina. Hence why the lawsuits were North Carolinian of nature.
Got you. Goodness gracious. All right, well, best
good
of
luck
luck
to both of them.
Yeah.
Both of them going to Haas would fuck with our predictions quite badly.
Yes.
Our predictions were absolute nonsense, so I don't know why. I don't know why you acting like anything's gonna mess it up. It's already messed up.
I mean, yeah, it's already messed up. Not Kevin Magnussen, fucking Nico Hulkenberg already fucked our brackets. So, thanks, Nico Hulkenberg.
No.
Thanks for busting our bracket.
That was Audi who did that.
Yes, that was Audi who did that. Well, speaking of Audi, up next, we've got what the fuck is going on with Carlos Sainz. That man is in a contract kerfuffle. So, previously it was entertained that he could be going to Audi, he could be going to Red Bull, he could be going to Mercedes, right? The streets, they're saying Red Bull's off the table. They're saying Red Bull's perfectly happy with Sergio, and they ain't looking to change baby daddies anytime soon.
I mean,
so
I can't blame him for that,
I don't
honestly.
blame him. He's doing a perfectly good job.
Yeah.
So nothing to change. So that leaves us with Mercedes and Audi. Now, I believe the latest that I had seen on the Mercedes front was that Mercedes was offering Carlos a 1-year contract, take it or leave it, 1-year contract, which Carlos obviously does not want. Like, that's been made abundantly clear that he wants a multi-year contract. Everybody wants a multi-year contract.
Yes.
So we'll see how he deals with that whole Mercedes thing. I mean, Mercedes cannot. Toto has made it so clear. He cannot handle fumbling the next generation's Max Verstappen. For him, that would be the end of it all. And I think that this man refuses to fumble Kimi Antonelli. Now, is Kimi Antonelli the next generation's Max Verstappen?
No.
That remains to be seen.
Bex,
she said it, not me.
Bex said it with a swiftness,
she said
too.
It, not me.
She said it with a swiftness, too.
She's right. But she said it, not me.
Oh, y'all get on my nerves.
Nobody's the next Max Verstappen, the same way Max wasn't the next Lewis. But also, we haven't seen enough from Kimi yet. I'm sorry. You're not even winning F2 your rookie year, and you want me to call you the next Max? Girlie, you're not even the next George. George won his rookie year. George won F2 his rookie year.
Well, points. Let me
fact check that before I don't come into know too hard. Win F2. Hey, yes, he did. He won his rookie year. Hey.
Well, I mean, maybe Kimi Antonelli needs to cook a little bit in F2.
And maybe he does need to cook a little bit. But guess what? If he needs to cook a little bit,
oh my god,
he's not the next Max Verstappen. Max's whole thing was he actually didn't need to cook. Didn't cook. They actually notoriously made a rule system for the F1 feeder series to force people to cook because Max Verstappen did not cook. Notorious.
What was Max Verstappen? If you know, what was his path to Red Bull? Like what?
I believe Max Verstappen did, and let me make sure I'm getting this accurate right now, because everybody obviously sensationalizes it because he's like, a baddie now. So like, people like to mythic it. I'm 96% sure Max was in karts. Let's say year 1, Max is in karting.
Okay.
Year 2, Max is in F3.
Okay.
Year 3, he's in F1.
He went from F3 to F1?
He did not do F2. That's why they can never be like, oh, Max, F2 champion. That man never sat in an F2 car.
How?
Because he... Basically, Red Bull was like, he's a man. We gotta get him. And
but so how did they even know what he could do? Okay.
He was apparently that good. So, right, just a little rundown on Max. Max started racing karts at 4, competing in championships at 7. He won a whole bunch of championships. He did a whole bunch of stuff to win championships, blah, 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 blah. In 2013, he had a record-breaking season in karting when he was 8-15. He won a whole bunch of stuff, beating Charles Leclerc and becoming the youngest ever driver. Becoming the youngest ever driver to win the KZ World Championship. And then Max did some Florida winter and F3 stuff in 2014. Right? In 2014, he does a practice session for Toro Rosso. And then he debuts in F1 in 2015.
That's absurd.
Notably, Max didn't have his license. The one that would let him drive a Prius on the road?
Not a Prius. Why a Prius?
He didn't have that. He did not have that. So I'm just letting you know right now. That's the tea. Anyway, if he needs to cook, he can't be the next Max. He can still be great. But if he needs to cook, you can't be Max. Max's whole thing was that he did not need to cook. So, like,
That is wild.
Yeah, let's operate under a little bit.
But Max's dad was like he was an F1 he was a driver, correct?
Max's dad drove alongside Michael Schumacher.
Oh, okay, so he's a legacy kid, basically.
Yeah, but he's also significantly better than his daddy was.
Damn.
It is what it is. Get good, you know?
Oh my god. Not get good.
Get good, buddy.
Right.
Okay.
What we got next?
So we don't know what's going on with Carlos, but he might end up with a 1 year. He might end up with no seat. He might end up at Audi. Who knows? Who knows what's going on?
Yeah, but if I'm not mistaken, didn't Mercedes give him a short time frame?
Yeah, that's the other thing. Mercedes
they gave him a limit.
They basically like, bro, we don't need to keep this seat fucking open.
If I'm not mistaken, wasn't it by today?
Ooh, messy boots. It might have been.
I think it might have been by today that he had to give them. Like he may have actually signed, he may have accepted it, and we just don't know. But I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, it was by today. So we may be getting news in the morning.
Today being May 14th. Okay.
Oh, okay. I take it back. It might be tomorrow. I think specifically I remember it saying Wednesday.
Okay.
Interesting.
Interesting.
We'll have to see.
We will have to see. It'll be something for sure. All right. Well, the next two are small potatoes, so we can run through them really quick. First thing, Fred Vasseur, Bald King, doing what no other Ferrari principal could. That man keeps taking Mercedes people.
All of them.
So we already knew this from last year, but like it's a big deal now because I think the gardening leave is up. Like they're able to like get in the cut and start doing things. He's poached 2 people from Mercedes. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know those men's names. What I will say is one of them was referred to as the right hand of Toto Wolff.
That sucks.
So good job, Fred.
That sucks.
Claps for my man Fred. And I love seeing Toto's downfall. So Fred, keep doing what you're doing.
Oh my god.
Whatever you need to do to make that man go, keep doing it. We love that for you, Fred. We love that for you. And then last but certainly not least, our favorite Australian, Oscar Piastri, has made a TikTok.
Not this man's TikTok.
So, he made a TikTok. He's so cute.
Cute is not the word I was looking for, but okay. I was looking for more like...
Oh, okay. So I found... Sorry, can we go back for 1 second?
Weird. I think, weird is a little bit too harsh. I thought he's too stoic. He's too stone-faced. I don't really...
Wait, are you still on Oscar You're on Oscar Piastri still. Okay.
Yeah, that's part of his appeal.
Not the right word, and I take that back.
He has a very expressionless face.
That's part of his appeal. I like it.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Felicia, what'd you find?
Oh, okay. So, Ferrari took his deputy at Mercedes. Ferrari took Toto's deputy at Mercedes, Jerome D'Ambrosio, deputy team principal. And he's the head of the F1 Driver Academy for Mercedes. Let me see. And then their performance director, Loic Serra, I don't even know how to say it. But this person, their performance director, is going to be the new head of chassis performance engineering. So I guess that's going to be the body of the car, right? Bex?
Yes. Wait, I'm so sorry. Run that back one more time.
Yeah. I was talking about who Fred Vasseur stole from Mercedes, and they stole their performance director, who is going to be the new head of chassis performance engineering. And so that's like the body of the car, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, they do. So they're apparently going to start working at Ferrari October 1st.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, it'd be interesting.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, so Mercedes is taking basically a triple hit because the the deputy team principal was also the head of F1 Driver Academy. So they're not only losing the deputy team principal, but also the driver academy person.
They're taking a big hit. That is true. Just because they're losing personnel and people are walking with Lewis, people feel that their loyalty is with Lewis more so than it's with Mercedes. And also, people may just be leaving because they just want to try something new. And, they've I'm not trying to go down with the ship.
Yeah.
So,
and especially once you have someone like a Lewis leave, it's like, okay, now everyone's just scrambling to get out because they can tell that.
You have left are Toto and George.
Yeah.
When you have what? I'm sorry?
The people who are left are Toto and George.
Yikes.
Bro, the history books on the shelves are always repeating themselves. Let us not remember. Forget. Williams used to be a top F1 team.
Yeah.
Valid.
Williams used to win championships.
I believe
this is true.
Sir Williams had 7 constructors championships.
I believe so.
Yikes.
I actually just watched a video of him a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I believe it was 7. He had 7 constructors championships.
Exactly.
His story of Williams is actually pretty incredible.
It real is. Yeah.
Yeah, Williams was the one to shining star.
And now look where they are.
And now they're sitting here saying, send Kimi Antonelli there to warm him up for Mercedes. As
really?
It's they're, that's always been the alternate pathway is that Kimi Antonelli would go to Williams. Because Williams, you know how Red Bull has fucking RB and it's their official junior team?
Mm-hmm.
Haas is low-key Ferrari's junior team, the same way Williams is low-key Mercedes' junior team.
Mm-hmm.
Not in the sense that they literally are, but that, if somebody is on the Mercedes pipeline, they generally end up at Williams to cook before they go to Mercedes. George. That's what happened to George.
Oh, yeah.
Williams.
George was in Williams, yeah. I mean...
left.
Because Williams uses, Mercedes engines and everything, right?
Yep.
CCC.
Well...
So that creates inter-partnerships, and then it all starts cooking.
So I saw this little TikTok. It was a video. It was a meme, but basically it was Toto was storming off somewhere, and it was and it said on top Toto going to McLaren to steal back the engine that he gave him.
That gets posted every time McLaren outdoes other Mercedes. Because your customer team beating you is very embarrassing.
Yeah, that is embarrassing.
They're your customer. That's... engine isn't even that's your fucking engine, and you couldn't build a car that was worthy of your engine, but they could.
They took your engine and built a car that was better than you around it.
It's embarrassing.
Embarrassing.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the whole situation with Ferrari kind of poaching some Mercedes team employees. Sorry, got tongue-tied there for a second. I think this isn't the first, and this obviously isn't. I don't think it's going to be the last.
Absolutely not. I think Mercedes is just about to get picked apart. Just people are going to get plucked left and right, and they're just going to have to work with what they've got left, pretty much.
But Toto, Mr. Big Balls over there, I saw
Mr. Big Balls
this week, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I'm seeing a lot of Red Bull resumes. Sir, you may be seeing
Toto, shut up,
bro. He's just mad.
Are up and down the block.
He's just mad because Zach fucking what's his face, whatever the papaya man. Zach himself said, based on the resumes I'm seeing up and down the paddock, it's not looking like Mercedes is having too good of a time. It looks like more dominoes are going to fall. So Toto's just fucking hemming and hawing because he knows that his bitches are trying to leave. You can't even keep your bitch.
Well.
Anyway, I just feel like the billionaires and multi-millionaires are just being childish and petty, and
of course,
just being gossipy little girls. So you're like, oh,
Yes.
they talked about me, so let me talk about them.
Yes.
Which I'm not gonna lie, I do find entertaining. I just wish that they would also take a step back and look at themselves in the mirror a little bit. You might have to if you did that.
That takes a little too much self-reflection for these men, though, I think.
Yeah. But they're funny.
Well.
Oh, so I was going to, before we ended, I was actually going to, have us walk through doing an F1. Which F1 driver are you destined to be with? Okay, so Asa, you did yours already.
Sorry, I forgot that we were going to do this on.
It's a BuzzFeed question.
Hold on, where is it? Did you send it to me?
It's in the chat.
Of course it is.
I'm gonna take it real quickly. I think one of the first questions how do you spend your weekends?
Oh God. Okay, let's see.
Someone said relaxing with friends, brushing up on strategy for a next competition, a bonfire at the beach, volunteering at a local animal shelter, playing video games, or clubbing. None of these really fit for me.
I said relaxing with friends.
But I think that's one, so I'm going to take that one. Your ideal vacation, London, Paris, Monaco, Melbourne, Tokyo, or Amsterdam. I'm going to be London and Amsterdam. Even though I've heard Tokyo is a vibe, I'm going to go...
I just did Monaco because I thought it'd be a fun little thing to just
I don't know, Monaco also just gives me, excess in a way I don't think I'd be comfortable with. I think I'm going to go with London. Because I've been saying for the past few months, I actually want to take a trip to London. So, which would I order on a first date? Burgers and fries, steak, seafood, Hot Pockets, anything vegan, grilled chicken. Sometimes when you're reading a quiz and you can already tell, if you choose this answer, it's leading you down this track.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Obviously, vegan is leading you down the Lewis Hamilton track. And
naturally.
And I would love to go down that track. I'm not going there. I know it.
I just finished mine.
Wait. Let me finish.
No, don't worry. No, I'll wait.
Pop artist Taylor Swift, no. Beyonce, of course. Rihanna, love her. Harry Styles, not in this lifetime. Ariana Grande, yikes. Charlie X.
Why you gotta say yikes?
Because Ariana Grande needs to learn how to enunciate. Beyonce. Favorite caffeinated beverage? It's obviously a Dr. Pepper, and that is not here. I don't drink not one of these things.
If these were the only things you had to drink, which one would you pick?
I don't drink any of these. Maybe a cold brew or a
Which one would you be willing to try?
I guess I'm willing to try cold brew.
Okay, there you go.
My love language, I guess for receiving love, it's going to be words of affirmation. No!
What'd you get?
I got Charles Leclerc.
I also got Charles Leclerc.
I got Max.
Hey!
I got Max.
Why did I get
Max? Is reportedly a very good boyfriend. So I see the bouquets he sends Kelly, and I be getting jealous on the other side of my phone.
Aww.
He sends her these gigantic white rose, K in red roses with her it's gorgeous. The man sends great flowers. So
Wow.
You'd get some beautiful flowers.
Child, I'm okay.
Claire, he's not a horrible person to choose. It's just I don't never mind, actually, let me just refrain.
No, what is it?
I was going to say he's just, I don't know, he's giving really quiet, really just I'm not sure how I don't know that much about Charles, so for me he gives me quiet, not talkative, gonna have to pull conversation out of him.
Okay.
Charles is kind of a yapper.
Charles?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, again, I don't know much about Charles, so maybe that's why also.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's got the gift of gab.
Not like a ton. Like Max is a fucking.
I'm about to say Max is a
Max
talker.
never shuts up. Quintessentially known for not shutting the fuck up.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
Yeah, but I think Charles yaps a little bit. From what I see, he yaps a little bit.
That's
maybe he's just a little chatty. Just a little chatty.
So, any more news for this week, ladies?
No more news, but I do have a closing comment and inquiry for the homies.
Okay, what is it? What you got?
So, as you may know, if you read our family group chat, this week, maybe last week, I think it was the end of last week, the Ultimatum South Africa premiered.
Oh, I saw your comment.
Yes. I did not know the Ultimatum South Africa premiere.
Now, if anybody knows the general concept of the Ultimatum,
yes,
it is couples come, one member wants to get married, one member is hesitant to get married for whatever reason. And essentially it is partner swap the show, where they swap around partners. Mm-hmm. They are in a faux marriage for 3 weeks. They go back to their OG person and are in a faux marriage for 3 weeks. And at the end of it, they have to decide to stick, twist, or walk alone.
Okay.
I come to this to say 2 things. One, this season, South African season, impeccable. Second only to the queer season. And that queer season was
banging. Good.
That was my bang. My follow-up question is, what F1 driver, and give them an imaginary partner. It doesn't have to be the partner they're currently with. Like, you know, what F1 driver would you want to see on the Ultimatum?
Max.
I think if we're keeping their current partners, I need Max and Kelly on that.
I want to say I would want to see that. Like,
I want Kelly more so than I want Max on there.
Yeah, I want Kelly on that show.
Based on the things that y'all have told me about, like, particularly how their relationships start, but like things like that, I would want to see that play out.
Do you know? Wait.
Who?
I don't know. So this is just it doesn't quite fit in the Ultimatum, like, typical universe. Mm-hmm. But I would really like to see Toto and Susie. Something about their family dynamic to me raises my eyebrows sometimes.
Why? What is it?
Toto's been married before. Toto has 2 other kids.
Yes.
But
really,
his son with Susie is definitely, like, paraded. So, like, I don't think it would work in the Ultimatum in, like, the traditional format of the show. Mm-hmm. Obviously. But I would like to see just more from them, I guess, as in their marriage and their family dynamic.
That makes sense. Makes sense.
Like, their real family dynamic. Because I also feel like Toto and Susie are very much, like, I don't want to say an Instagram couple, because that's not it. But they're very, like, well-curated couple. Like, their public personas are very well-curated.
Got you.
Together. Like, obviously, Toto's a crazy person. But, like, family. Like, they're great. But I guess in the traditional format of the Ultimatum, I would like to see a young Lewis Hamilton on there.
With who, though?
They were on, like, what? Was it, like, 6-7 years on and off?
Him and Nicole?
Yeah.
She was there when he won his first championship.
Yeah, I've seen that video of that.
Iconic video.
Jumping, like, up and down in the paddock, like, screaming because all the racing in itself was, like, really crazy.
Look, it's slowing down.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I saw a little drama. They were having such discourse on this race that happened freaking almost 20 years ago. And everyone was having so much discourse over it. It was ridiculous.
What was the big hullabaloo about the race?
So there's a lot. I think we were going to talk about it we'll talk about it one of these days. But there's a whole thing about, there's many layers of him winning his first one, because it also has to deal with, like, Crashgate. And how potentially it cost, what's his name, Massa? It cost him the championship, Crashgate. but no one knew about it, obviously. But absent that, I forgot who was. Lewis needed to come, I believe,
Fifth or something like that?
It was either fourth or fifth. He had to come fourth and fifth and above to win the championship, to score enough points, right? And he was like sitting basically like one position out of winning the championship. And so I forget who was leading him, basically. And at first, it was like I think it was in the last lap, if I'm not.
It was close. It was definitely like right at the end.
It was either last lap or the second to last lap, where Lewis was in whatever minimum position that he had to be. I think it was. I'm just going to say P5, right? And they overtook him. So that means where he was standing in the lap, going like the last lap, he was out. He wasn't winning. He was coming second. The person who overtook him was having either tire issues, and so they at some point in the last lap they end up just letting Lewis pass. And basically gave Lewis the championship.
His championship.
Yeah. So that's why you'll hear the famous like Glock is slowing down because he was on the track and could not keep up speed, and instead of trying to like in theory, when you can't keep up speed, and like you'll get a fucking flag for this, you'll get a penalty for this. In theory, if you can't keep up speed, you could still be a dick and like make things
just
really
defend,
hard. But generally, you try to get out of the way so you don't die. Which is essentially what happened with Glock, where Glock was slowing down, and it was like Lewis was like, "Oh, really?" And then got his first championship.
And that's how he got the championship. And to a lot of people, like, well,
that was his McLaren win, right?
Yes, that's his only McLaren win. And so a lot of the discourse on the video saw was that they were like, well, if you all want to give Lewis, I believe it was 2008. I believe it was 2008. But if they're like, if you want to give him the 2008 championship, then he can't have the 2021 championship. And then they were like, well, he doesn't have the 2021 championship, so what are you talking about? And all this discourse about like, it really isn't his anyway because of the whole Crashgate thing. Because if it wasn't for Crashgate, then Lewis, they would have had to. It was going to be harder for Lewis to win the championship if it wasn't for Crashgate. I think but then it also leads into like the following races and all this other things. It was just like a big mess, that Lewis first championship win. And I think it's a mess in a different way than the 2021 one was, because it's nothing he did. And it was really it was actually, now I'm saying it, I was about to say it's maybe the FIA's fault.
It's Bernie Ecclestone's fault. We can blame everything on Bernie.
Okay, there you go.
Because but also, like, Max has a great quote about this that he just said at this past GP. If my mom had balls, she'd be my fucking dad, bitch. Like, if grandma had wheels, she'd be a bike. Like, what are we doing here?
That had me in stitches.
Like, why are
when I tell you, I screamed. I said, "Not your mom."
I told you, my man's funny. My man is very funny.
But like, I'm like, his mom probably watching that and being like, "What the hell?
How my catches? How I get product?
Get in it."
But yeah, like, there's no point in ifing to fucking the end of the universe.
My mom had balls, she'd be my dad.
Like, there's no bringing up an if that's just like, if things went differently. Okay, like, and they did it. So get off my dick.
That actually sent me.
Yeah, he's letting me.
There's so much discord about. It's funny. It's like his bookend ones. It's the first one and the potentially what was his 8th one. That is all the controversy. And so, and I think also too, I should not get into the comments, but the comments are just people who feel that they just have superior points and arguments, and they're really not. They're really not. And
girl, if you getting into the comments is bad.
You learn sometimes through the comments. You learn something, but sometimes you just get stupider.
If you think the comments is bad, I'm much worse. I'm an avid Reddit user. I actively get into fights on the Survivor Reddit.
Girl, why?
I cannot.
Because people are annoying.
Formula One Reddit. The Formula One.
I do not look at that thing.
Actually, a cesspool.
I do not look at the Formula One Reddit. I draw the line at looking at the Formula One Reddit. I have a Reddit for all of my interests, except the Formula One Reddit. It is the only one I will not look at. I do not look at the Formula One Reddit at all. I refuse.
The last time I looked at the Formula One Reddit was when the whole Lewis to Ferrari thing happened. And I was like, just to see. And it was just like, I was like, nope. Y'all remind me, don't swim in these waters. No.
I mean, the last time I looked at it was to pull the iceberg graphic, and then I closed it. I can't even read the explanation.
Horrible people roam among those streets. It is
just the dregs of F1 society.
Maybe just take a gander, take a look, take a peek. Don't stay too long, but take a peek.
I'll think about it.
But yeah, I've slowly become a Reddit girl in the past couple of years. I think Love Island.
I have not. Reddit has not caught on for me
Love
yet.
Island was my thing was my big, entry into the Reddit forum. Reddit.
Really?
Yeah. Me and Bex were in the Love Island trenches.
That's how I'm able to watch Love Island as it's happening.
If you knew.
You knew.
No. I mean, maybe I'll get into it. I don't know. I barely keep up with half the things y'all are on.
Well, you just need to carve out specific time every single day. Which also,
absolutely not.
Speaking of, after this, we're going to have to discuss our podcasting schedule because Bex and I will have Love Island commitments at approximately this time every single day.
For the love of Christ.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fine.
We will have Love Island
we have to upend our whole entire schedule.
Yes,
that's
we will
not
have
really
Love
a
Island
schedule.
UK during the day, and then we will have Love Island US in the afternoon. So we'll have to really rethink our schedule,
honey,
and figure something out.
I'm not gonna lie. I will say this year I'm actually a little bit worried because US is starting so early, and I usually it's like a few weeks. It's like a few weeks that are overlapping, and that's it.
I'm very concerned.
I'm like, and it's just so much going on.
This will be because aren't they only going to be like a week or two apart? But also, the Love Island US they always make so short. They don't commit to the bit like they do for US.
Yeah,
for
UK,
UK
4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah,
I would say 4 weeks. Only thing,
and UK is 8 weeks, right?
Mm-hmm.
I will let you know this, Essa. I am going to do what I usually do. I'm going to go all in at the beginning.
Oh, God.
But if I'm getting the same nonsense again this year...
You can't leave me. You can't leave me. Please, you can't leave me.
I put up so much. And that's the thing that kind of... And someone was like, they're really riding... ITV is really riding this Love Island cash cow until it's dry. Because, I think I really enjoyed and I appreciate Love Island when it was the summer. It was fun. You get it. It was like a treat. You move on. But now having it in the winter and All Stars.
All Stars was so good.
I thought it was going to be so good. And it was like, it fell flat.
I think All Stars was so bad because they just didn't make a Love Island series. They made everybody sit in a villa. That's all it was. It was just everybody sitting in a villa.
Were they not actually trying to get with people?
It's not even that.
I think also too, it's the authenticness of what makes Love Island was missing. Because they're all professionals at this point.
Exactly. Yeah. You're all professionals and you all know exactly what you're coming here to do.
Yeah.
Are you coming here to build your brand? Are you coming here to resurface your brand? Are you even Anton? And listen, I loved me some Anton during the season. Anton was doing it for me during the season. But it became abundantly clear as he had to sit in that villa longer and after the fact that, in my opinion, Anton came on knowing that people were annoyed with him and that they thought he was kind of annoying and kind of immature in the first series. Mm-hmm. And he decided that he was going to mature the brand. in this series.
No.
So, he wasn't abiding by bro code. He was like, no, it's about the quality of character. All the things that you want to be said. But then it was like, as time went on, and as he got to the villa, I was like, I don't know if I'm buying this.
Well.
I don't know if I'm fully sold on this mature act.
Well.
It was just a mess. But anyway, that's enough Love Island rambling. We will ramble more after this.
Boom.
Well, listeners, thank you. As always, we want you to listen. We want you to rate. We want you to review. We want you to subscribe.
Do all of the things.
We want you to do all of that. We love when you share our podcast. So if you could share the podcast with people that you would want to go on the ultimatum with, maybe share it with the couple you'd want to wife swap with.
Oh,
messy boots.
Messy boots.
Do with that information whatever you want to. Couples who want to wife swap with each other. Anyway, we will see you this upcoming week for the Emilia Romagna GP.
Ooh.
And then I believe it's a back-to-back. So we'll be doubling up for you guys. There will be weeks, just so you know, Felicia, where it's a triple header. So it'll be back. So prepare yourself for that one.
I'm down.
But yeah, all right. Thank you, listeners.
Bye-bye.
Bye.